Hello, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to another Art for All group. This week we're thinking about the start of spring. February the 2nd in the Celtic and Christian calendars in the north of Europe is traditionally St. Bridget's Day or Imbolc, and it was the start of spring or the lambing season, and it was a fire festival. So people used to light candles and pray to the goddess Bridget, who became St. Bridget in different calendars. And people would light bonfires and would make good luck charms for the year ahead. And these looked like this. This is a St. Bridget's cross, and you can see here among the snowdrops. This is made of rushes. People would make these and then hang them in their houses until the next year, and they would be symbols of good luck and the continuation of the year. And February the 2nd falls halfway between the winter solstice on the 21st of December and the vernal equinox on the 21st of March. It was one of the 4 traditional fire festivals that are celebrated to mark the changing of the year. So another one is on May Day, another one is on the 1st of August, and then in the winter on the winter solstice as well. So I've thought about different pieces of art that are associated with spring, and I think even though lockdown feels like it's been going on forever and things aren't changing, the world does still change, and it keeps on turning, and the seasons change. And some of you might have seen snowdrops out in the garden. You might be hearing more birds. And yeah, I thought, why not take some art inspiration about spring? So here we have Almond Blossom by Vincent van Gogh, and this was painted for his brother and for the birth of his brother's son. So it is really about spring and about new life and new awakenings. And Vincent van Gogh sent this with a really heartfelt letter to his brother about how overjoyed he was that this new nephew had come into the world, and the nephew was named Vincent after him. So a really joyful, happy painting that's just a close-up of an almond tree, really beautifully observed. These pieces are by a Nigerian-American artist called Chioma Ebinama, and she is an illustrator and fine artist, and I think these paintings also reminded me of spring and of growth and of humans becoming one with nature and thinking about their place in terms of nature and power. And I think I really enjoyed the beautiful forms, the watery colours, and the fact that the paintings can be read a lot of different ways. I think I showed these images to people who come to art groups at St. Christopher's, and they saw all different things in these paintings, but kind of, I think, lots of growth, lots of renewal, lots of connection, and that felt like something really special about these kind of spring-like paintings. This is by Rene Magrit, and this is titled Spring. It has a very different feel from the previous painting, where those images are really organic and subtle. This is quite sterile almost. It's called Spring. We have this really realistic nest, but this cut-out bird in the sky flying over. Their spring-like colours, but somehow it's a strange kind of spring, and I'm not sure whether it's uplifting or whether it's a bit uncanny. And yes, I wonder if it captures the essence of spring. This is a very, very famous picture of spring by Botticelli. It's called La Primavera, and it was painted for a wedding. And you can see the 3 graces. You can see Venus in the background, celebrating love, Flora scattering flowers, and the west wind trying to capture a nymph there, and all the flowers on the ground are growing, the trees are being stimulated to grow, and yes, everything is springing up and changing and progressing into the year. And actually, the background of this reminded me very much of the previous image, the Magritte image of the high, cold blue sky against the green foliage. And there are no clouds here. And yeah, a picture of beautiful, idyllic spring. And this, finally, is called Spring, and it was painted in the 16th century by Giuseppe Akimboldo, and it's an image that's made up entirely of flowers. So Arcimboldo was famous for making people's faces in paintings out of vegetables or out of fruit, sometimes out of meat in the paintings, or fish, or corn stalks, a bit like the St. Bridget's cross at the start. But yes, hugely detailed, beautiful images of people made out of flowers. And one of the people who came to an art group this week had the idea that maybe they could make their own version of this. And we thought it was a great idea. They could maybe do collage and try and make a face out of images of flowers or out of images of other things, and try and recreate their own Arcimboldo image to celebrate the spring. So thank you very much for joining today. We look forward to seeing you in the future at another Art for All group, and all the very best until next week. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.